just want to say, I'm almost positive Jared Goff was playing with a concussion, but that's just me. I'm pretty sure he got concussed in that game. And I mean, I can't fully blame him. I think I think the Lions just play a little too aggressive, and with the game on the line, they just made some silly calls. I don't think we can fully blame Jared Goff. I mean, he had a great season, so.
Yeah. Well, real quick, welcome back. Episode 3. We've all made it. Cast, viewers, everybody. And yeah, it was a crazy ass weekend of football. Tay, I think low key you might be bad luck, but
here we go. No.
I'll just say between you and the Cowboys, there's one common denominator.
Okay. So I made the calls in that game. I was the offensive coordinator.
No, I'm just saying be a bandwagoner. No, I'm just saying be a bandwagoner. I feel like that's the best way to leave a team abruptly. Just go to someone that's winning, improving.
The Lions weren't winning.
Speaking of the Lions,
I said improving. Go ahead, Larry. Go ahead.
The Lions, they what? Their offensive coordinator is leaving. Is that correct? Did I see something to that effect?
I thought it was a defensive coordinator. It's the offensive?
Offensive, yeah. They're finally with the Bears right now.
Oh, man. Yeah. And division rival, too.
The offensive or defensive coordinator, I think, is also exploring like head coaching jobs. So, I mean, I guess we'll see kind of what happens with that. But
their Lions defensive coordinator, he got the job already. It's with the Saints. Because he was a coach at the Saints, played for the Saints, and then
that is
he
actually
just got the job. Aaron Glenn, yeah.
Aaron
Glenn updates. He interviewed with the Jets, but the last that I looked into it, and I'll do some more research again, but that deal was as good as done with the Saints.
Oh shoot. I didn't even know that. I knew he was in talks and was exploring. I didn't know he already secured a deal. Possibly.
Yeah, him and the Saints was almost like Vrabel with New England in a way. It's just like he had a lot of history there, both as a player, first-time coach. Right. So it that deal made sense. And it was when they were talking about it the last week when they were playing against Minnesota, I believe, that deal was as good as done.
Sheesh. Okay, well.
Yeah, this was the year to do it. This was the year to get it done.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But I mean, when you have 31 different defensive starters on a team dealing with injuries the entire season, that's what can you do, you know? So
yeah,
they did the best that they could with the adversity that they faced. And I mean, they got as far as they did, playing as hard as they did. And I mean, the injuries were just kind of a result of the downfall and some bad play calling in the last game. I mean, I think they fought really hard, but I think that, you know, they played a little too aggressive and the game just got away from them.
Yeah, this is the second year for the Lions.
Yeah.
A good year. This year was obviously far.
I mean, they broke franchise records. Yeah.
And I mean, the Commanders have also shown this year on a few different occasions. They really are a good team. Like
they really are.
They weren't. I think everyone overlooked them, including even us on this show, because we were picking the Lions to win and all that stuff. And whether you look at on paper or you look at how they actually went out there and performed, the Redskins they're a really good team.
Yeah.
And they showed it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that game. I think if Jaden Daniels wins. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Go
if Jaden Daniels beats the Eagles, or if the Commanders go out there and beat the Eagles, I think he can safely say he's had the best rookie season we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Which is insane because he's part of the same rookie class with Brock Bowers, who just broke one of the tight end records.
Yeah.
So that just shows you how much better some of these players are getting. Everyone's wondering, like, if college football and if football in general, like if the competition's going down or if rules are making it less competitive. It's like, no, these guys are elite. They are balling their asses off for real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Since we're talking about college, this Xavier Lucas story. Tay, I know you don't really follow college football, but Laird, you've heard about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
The guy from Wisconsin. Yeah, I think this is going to be the story that could possibly change college football or college sports in general. Like, this is really going to be the one to blow the roof off of everything. Because this guy, I mean, I think we talked about it last show. What Drew Rosenhaus, how he was saying a lot of these players are signing 1-year deals. The money's not guaranteed. There's a whole lot of whatever. This is one where the player, fresh out of high school, signed a 2-year deal to Wisconsin. And then after one season, he's already requesting a transfer in the transfer portal, which they rightfully so denied. They said, hey, we still got another year on the agreement. And then what does he do? This backdoor deal where he basically unenrolls from the school and re-enrolls in Miami.
And that is a breach of contract.
They're still looking into it right now. It's kind of seems like it's still hanging in oblivion. Like, everyone's still waiting on this House versus NCAA thing to settle. But the NCAA, as of right now, they got their hands tied. They're not really stepping in, giving a definitive answer. All they're saying is technically he didn't breach anything.
Yeah, I think that's what they said. They were like, yo, like, as far as we know, he didn't actually do anything wrong, but he did. You signed a legally binding agreement with someone. It doesn't matter how you got what you wanted out of the deal. You broke it nonetheless. Like, that is a problem.
Yeah.
Like, yes, you wanted to leave the school. You shouldn't have left. If Wisconsin didn't want to allow you to leave, you should have said, okay, what can we do so that way I can leave? I don't want to stay. How do I make this happen? Like, do I need to take a red shirt year? Can I just, can we cut the financial losses? I stayed for 1 year. If I was guaranteed, 2 million, do I just take 1 million and go? Like, how can we work together so that I can leave? I don't know what kind of talks he had with Wisconsin, so I can't speak to that, but there should have
whatever
been
talk they did have,
more
Wisconsin
communication.
denied him.
Yeah, yeah, it could have been as simple as, hey, I want to leave, and they're like, no, or I don't know what exactly could have happened, but
which they have every right to do.
Yeah, he broke his contract, and that's a problem. He should not be allowed to do that. And if he does, it should come with repercussions.
So my question, was he successful in doing this? So he's 100% enrolled in Miami now, and he's going to Miami?
So yeah, he's enrolled in Miami, and what's interesting is now he has the schools going back and forth at odds with each other, because now Wisconsin is essentially accusing Miami of possible tampering.
Oh, okay.
And then also on top of that, the NCAA, I mean not the NCAA, the Big Ten is backing Wisconsin.
Right. Okay.
So they're on Wisconsin's side, and they even dropped a statement basically sending a warning, to Miami. I'll read it for you, so you can take it as you want. But the Big Ten released a statement saying that the Big Ten Conference stands in full support of the University of Wisconsin regarding the contractual agreement between student athlete Xavier Lucas and the Wisconsin football program. As student athletes become active participants in revenue sharing, it is critical that agreed to obligations be respected, honored, and enforced. In light of current laws and association rules, information suggesting tampering and contract interference in this case by the University of Miami is very troubling. These actions undermine the efforts of its own conference as the ACC continues its collaboration with the other A4 conferences in developing a sustainable framework for college sports. This situation is just the latest example of the critical need for substantive governance reform. So to me, that sounds like the Big Ten is basically saying, hey, Wisconsin, we got your back. And matter of fact, get out the way. We're going to fire right at you, ACC and Miami. Like, yo, we're not expecting Miami to be holding themselves accountable in this situation. But ACC, y'all need us to do these playoffs across the board in all sports. We all need to work and collaborate together. Don't start muddying the waters by pulling bullshit like this.
Right.
Because we know just as well the ACC would be the first ones bitching if Clemson or Florida State or even Miami or so they were losing players left and right to Bama, Georgia, Texas, dare I say, under the same circumstances. So, hey, this I think it's going to be a good case. And it, from what I'm reading as well, the Big Ten and the school, they're standing on business with this. And they're even saying they hope this goes to trial. And they can't wait to present their argument in trial so they can set a serious precedence to stop this shit and nip it in the butt once and for all.
So what happens at that point? Because it's like if Wisconsin wins and he stays, sorry, when, because it clearly seems that they have a case and you can't do that, sir. So now if he stays with Wisconsin, then what? Like, does he still get to play? Will he still play? Will they still play him? Is there going to be turmoil with the team because he wanted to leave? Like, how does that translate now with the team dynamic if they're fighting so hard to keep someone who wants to leave? Granted, yes, he did break the contract, but now it's like, okay, we won, but now is he going to be penalized for trying to leave?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I'm wondering too if they would do it. There could be, how would I want to explain this? There would be two outcomes in this scenario. One, it, like you said, it would set the precedence that yes, all contracts are legally binding and you're not allowed to break them. And then the second part would be the repercussion is after they, provided that they did win this case, this legal battle, they would then say, okay, cool, we won. They probably end up dismissing him from the team in like the middle of the season or something. And that would, really throw off his vibe because then he would be stuck doing absolutely nothing.
Right.
And then he would have to wait to then hit the transfer portal. I think they would probably do something along those lines just to get their point across very clearly. Like, hey, you. And then they would also take his funds as well. I'm sure that there's something written money, somewhere in there.
I think money is going to carry a lot of the weight because the interesting thing with schools as opposed to like a professional sport where you're getting drafted, it's basically a job you're asking for. With schools, players choose what schools they want to go to. So it's for the sake of recruiting, I don't think they want to go too far petty where now it kind of stains them in a way and other players are kind of like scared straight.
Yeah.
Because, players are still going to have their own perception of how things happen and do their own level of research. So I don't think they'll go too hard with that, but I think they will set a serious precedent as far as, like for me, if I'm a school and I'm in that program, I think the precedent I want to set is start doing these refunds, start asking these players for refunds. If you want to hit the transfer portal early or you want to sit out bowl games for the draft and this and that and the third, give me some of my money back. Because at the end of the day, what I paid you was for a winning record, so that way we can have postseason success. If you're only giving me the regular season, or in this case, you're transferring under your own terms when you still have another year left on your contract, yeah, run me my money back.
Right.
Like,
and my last question is, so, what's it? I guess the Big Ten / Wisconsin is pointing at Miami for tampering. My only question is, do all universities have access to information regarding players and whatever contracts they may have signed? Is that a thing? Because I don't know.
So right now, because there's no actual regulation on these NIL contracts, and a lot of it's coming from boosters and such, there's not. It's not like with the NFL where they have the players union, the NFLPA, the collective bargaining, and all that. So they have to be in the know on certain things to properly negotiate. It doesn't really work like that, which is partially why, like we said in our last video about some of these athletes damn near in a 360 deal. Like, I don't think there's any way to actually track it, but I definitely wouldn't be surprised if they start asking for refunds. Because it's money being wasted at this point. It's like, why am I giving you money?
Yeah.
And damn well you don't have any intent to fulfill this obligation. But I like how the Big Ten stepped in and didn't just leave it to the schools to kind of fight over it, because that's all it would end up being. It would start and die there. It'd just be schools bickering over an athlete. But now that the Big Ten came in and said, yo, forget just football. We need to collaborate across the board on sports to make things work. don't start doing this bullshit. Don't muddy the water on this. I do like that, how they had their back. And again, they're like, I'm not even looking at Miami. ACC, y'all need to respond. Y'all need to do something. Tell this kid he's not eligible for a certain amount of games. Tell him he can't, whatever, something, but this can't just go unchecked. Because now, again, we have the prisoners running the asylum.
Yeah. I was going to say that it would be a domino effect because now any player that wants to leave is going to try to find a loophole to not fulfill their contract. And
that's the loophole.
Yeah.
The fuck the transfer portal.
And re-enroll.
Yeah, they already gave you a transfer portal and you said fuck the transfer portal. I know why, because the headlines was misleading. Wisconsin denies him transfer portal. They didn't deny, they told you to uphold your end of the contract.
Yeah.
So that was the loophole. You couldn't do the transfer portal, so you just unenrolled from the school and then re-enrolled in another college. Like, bruh, there's still money being owed here. What are you doing?
Right.
And did they, and I guess that's one other thing, did they give him the money up front? Was he getting it in installments?
I hope that they weren't that foolish to give the money up front, because
because if he was getting it in installments, I'd be like, okay, go, but you're not getting any more money.
Right.
It's just the more I read into the story, it sounds like we were saying earlier, possibly an agent that's new to this. And then that combined with an 18-year-old kid, he was a true freshman. If y'all as a program got finessed by that combo right there, to Wisconsin, y'all got bigger issues than just Xavier Lucas.
Right.
So I feel like
what it is. I mean, now we
partial.
know. Now we know. I feel like they went into, they being, the world of college sports, they went into the NIL deal and school contracts, giving kids money and stuff without thinking fully about every given scenario and the type of people that would be involved, and which is something that you can't ever really do. You can't ever test every single instance. I do think this instance in particular is pretty simple, and I would have thought about this, while having discussions and stuff. That's just me personally. I would say, hey, what if a kid were to unenroll and re-enroll while being under contract? But, I'm not a part of whatever college board, so.
No, that makes sense. I hope this is something that they can make an example, so it does set a precedent. Because, and as much as I am pro player, pro athlete, I do understand there has to be law and order. There has to be rules and regulations for a reason. And they gave y'all NIL, they gave y'all the transfer portal. That's more than anybody in the history. As I'm speaking to former NCAA athlete, Division I athletes, y'all can agree this is more than anybody's ever had, what they got now.
You're right.
So it's like at some point we got to start bringing it back and like, all right, let's get some order in line. But or tell you real quick before I move on, did you have any more to add to that one?
Nope, I don't know too much about it.
No, we got to talk about the other NIL. Niggas is lying. This whole Drake, LeBron academic shit going on, yo.
Oh yeah, because this was supposed to be a topic last time.
Bruh. I don't even know where to start. Like, this ain't a music podcast, so we don't have to go too far into why Drake is a hoe. But it's like now you trying to drag LeBron into this because he showed up to a concert. LeBron, like, I feel like this. The more he does, the more he shows how out of touch he is. Like, he's just giving more credence to the not like us shit.
Yeah.
Because you're suing over a rap beef, and then you're going after one of our icons. Like, LeBron is like the Michael Jackson of sports to most of the Black community. Like,
hello? I feel like Drake is just trying to stay relevant at this point. I think he knows he took a L to Kendrick, and now he's trying to fight his way back to beef with everybody and get back at people that he knows. LeBron's not going to make a diss track about him back. Like,
this isn't even a topic worth taking someone down. It's not like you said, which granted, I don't want false accusations, but it's not like you saying LeBron was doing some crazy Diddy shit. You saying, oh, the billionaire who's been with the same woman the past 21 years might have had something on the side. For all we know, they have an agreement where it's like, nigga, just don't make me look stupid.
Right.
And he confided in you to not make them look stupid, and here you go.
Right.
So like what exactly happened? I did read about it, however long ago, what was that, a week or two ago? Did Drake explicitly say that LeBron was cheating on his wife, or did academics make that claim based on, quote, the hoes that he knows in Canada?
So from what I've seen, Drake just did the freestyle. Then
Mm-hmm.
academics went on live, which I saw it.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps getting played, and academic says, "Yo, I talked to the hoes I know in Canada. I talked to some people I know in Canada,
Mm-hmm.
and they said Drake was doing the whoop de wop with you." But it's like, bruh, has this
So
nigga
when
ever has? My thing is with academics, this nigga Drake has never hopped on your show, never like called in for an interview. You just out here looking like his bottom bitch for no benefit in return. Like, what do you do? And now you're going out LeBron, bro. This is not Lil Baby or some rapper. Like, them sports niggas are crazy, bro. They will really come be on your head. Pause.
so Drake was just freestyling and he said it. Like it wasn't like he was actually dropping hints, right? Or not?
I only heard the song once, but it was basically saying the bars was like alluding to something like, you were dancing to my demise, but I know shit that could take you down, and we were out here doing who knows what the fuck he said, because Drake, who's
Yeah, so
listening to
he was
Drake?
just rapping for all we know. So it's
It
probably
was
people
him
just
rapping,
being too deep.
but
Pause.
the thing is, the people, academics who are trying to do this are also the same type of people that whenever he wants to leak stories to the press, it's
Mm-hmm.
those same people he calls. So that's what's giving credence to it.
Mm.
I feel like they're both out of touch. Drake is out of
Yeah.
touch where it's like, nigga, we don't want to hear this type of shit about our hero. And academics is out of touch because it's like, bro, you look like his bitch. No matter how you slice this up, bro, you really need to get Drake's nuts up out your mouth because this is
Mhm.
ridiculous, bro.
Hot 97, 3 days ago, January 17th. Um, Apparently, academics has issued an apology, allegedly, to LeBron for spreading the rumors about infidelity. At
You
least
know,
that's what the article is titled. I don't know how
Nah,
true it actually
you,
is.
bro. I don't want to hear no apology after. If you saw the way Ack was out there talking with his chest out about this nigga,
Oh yeah, no, I saw
he
his
was
clips.
talking like
Like,
if LeBron was there eye to eye, he would have squared up with LeBron, knowing
yeah,
damn well that's
stomped
not the
him.
case.
Like, bro, what
Now
is
you
really
wanna,
good with
hey, I just
you?
want to say sorry, y'all. My bad. I just like that's the one thing I never got with academics. When it comes to Drake, this nigga will jump out the window like he knows this nigga. Like, yo, that's my man's. Yo, I used to bangs with Drake back in Toronto. And it's like, bro, y'all have never been cool. He never invited you to hang out in the Rolls Royce and nothing like that. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. But
I feel
you
like
know,
it's two niggas that have become irrelevant recently, trying to become relevant again.
I
Like,
mean, has academics ever really been truly relevant?
no,
Like,
definitely not.
I can't lie. He's had his relevancy. Like when the bigger acts in the game, the bigger rappers are acknowledging you. Hate
okay,
you,
all
like you,
right.
love you. I gotta acknowledge your relevance is there, whether it's good or bad. It was there. I
Okay,
can't
all right,
say he
yeah,
was
that's
never
fair.
relevant, but he's
Hmm.
never been going out like this sad. This is just
Yeah,
terrible. Like,
Hmm.
bro, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
sound horrendous.
for who? Like, this nigga still has never even. As much as you like to, yeah, Drake hit me and said, say this, and that, the third. It's like, has this nigga ever hit you to just be like, hey, what's up, y'all? Thanks for tuning in my homie show, yo. What's up? Make sure y'all follow the bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I look like his biggest fan. But we ain't
I feel
gotta.
like people have also tried to, I feel like this hasn't been the first time that people have claimed that LeBron has cheated on his wife. And it probably won't be the last. I don't
And
know
if he did,
why.
whose
I don't have
business
anything
is it?
correct. And I don't have anything against LeBron. Like, I didn't like him as an athlete when he had first came out. I don't know why. That's just like a whole thing. But from what it seems, he's a good guy. So to, sit there and try to ruin his happy home. Like you said, they may or may not have an agreement. We don't know. But to, throw dirt on somebody's name for what particular reason? People just need to mind their own business. So
Yeah,
it's
I feel like this.
unfortunate.
Even the whole news breaking of, oh, he might have did it, and everyone acting crazy. Like, and I'm probably going far out of bounds with it, but I feel like it's only a shocker or something newsworthy to people who don't have money or people who don't have women. Because if you have either or you have both, that's not a far-fetched idea that, yo, I've been with her for 20 years, keeping her happy with my hundreds of millions of dollars. We raised a nice family. I show you nothing but the utmost respect publicly. And hey, maybe a couple times out the year behind closed doors, I have the top shelf creme de la creme escort or whatever the fuck do her thing, and no one knows about it. I don't bring no germs home. You never look crazy. You like that's not far fetched, yo. That's very normal. That's a very normal thing, yo. The nigga that lives on the big house down the street from you that runs the pharmacy, he probably like that's very normal. I don't want to say everyone does it, but I feel like everyone was looking at this like, bro, where's the story here? LeBron possibly slept with a girl in Toronto. That's not breaking news.
Right.
The more I was listening to it, the more I was like, damn, all this money and academics still don't pull. That's insane. You know what I mean? It reminded me of the same people that were super shocked about the Joy Taylor thing. As funny as it was, as much as we love covering the story, no one was genuinely shocked. No one who follows sports and is diehard sports fan was like, oh, Joy, not Joy.
Right.
Man, she was so well versed. She was breaking down coverages and everything. Joy, like it was like, oh, okay, yeah. All the women up there, it was probably her if I had to bank on it that did what she did. You know what I mean? Tay, what do you think? What's your woman's perspective on this? Like, from someone who's seeing a successful guy get accused of this, is this something that would even bother you?
No. I just feel like you said, it's just it's not out of the norm for one of the top basketball players in the world, in history at this point, could have possibly stepped out on his wife. Like, and it's like, who cares? Like, we heard about stories with Kobe stepping out on Vanessa. Like, he's still the GOAT. Like, why do we care? What relevancy does that bring us? LeBron has enough going on worrying about the Lakers, trying to do something before he retires, and Bronny getting out of the G League or whatever the hell Bronny's doing right now. Like, he's not worried about what Drake has to say about him and his relationship, and it's not our business. If he has stepped out, if he hasn't, who cares? Like, shut up and watch the game, or don't, or get in the studio about something else. Like, you should be worried about firing shots back at Kendrick because you took an L months ago. You're coming out an
Thank you
player. What does that do for you?
Coming at DeMar DeRozan and LeBron.
Respond. He's gonna be like, okay. Anyway, so come on now. It's stupid. And like, from a woman, like, there's probably millions of women out there, maybe not millions, but plenty that are probably throwing themselves at LeBron. Eventually, he's gonna take the bait. And he has enough money
only be strong for so long
to make sure that never comes to light. And if Savannah knows, if she doesn't, what does it matter to us? I do not lose sleep if LeBron steps out on his wife.
My girl said a man can only be strong for so long.
Right.
Yeah, I don't get that at all. And I mean, it's already bad enough you're breaking guy code when you decide to tattle.
That's the most important thing. Like, bro, you're not supposed to be snitching. Like,
especially to do it like this and like dropping subliminals in a song and then having, you know, your little, like I said, having your work do your work for you. Your little minions out here online accusing people of doing stuff like that. Like, the only thing nastier than that is dropping the lawsuit. There's no recovery for this man, yo. Like,
I mean, I think that the lawsuit was honestly a better move than you know, these cryptic messages. Because I don't want anyone calling me a pedophile. That is,
I feel like even with that,
I can't handle that.
I feel like even with that, the only way where he could have walked away not looking like a hoe would have been if he dropped the lawsuit against the NFL. Like, he said, hey, I'm suing just for the simple fact to make sure y'all don't let him say this about me, because even though he didn't do it yet, this case will probably get thrown out. The fact that they're going through an active case while the Super Bowl's happening, that may have made it where it's likely like, all right, let's not risk it. But to sue your own record label, the same niggas who was doing all, like, you're suing them for shit that they did to get your record going. Everything he claims in the lawsuit that UMG did to get Not Like Us going is like, wait, bro, we was here in real time. Family Matters was being pushed on YouTube, pushed on the streaming records. All the YouTube content creators Drake named in his lawsuit, like, oh, the reactors and this and that. I was like, bro, that same night, I remember I was here watching the Kai Cenat live when he was like, oh shit, Drake just texted me to stay on YouTube. He's about to drop. So now it's like, bro, now you saying that these people are all plotting on you, bro? Come on now. Yeah, I don't like it. It's like that kid at the park that got his ass whooped and now he coming back. Oh, they jumped me, yo. They jumped me for no reason. It's like, no, you came in here talking that gangster shit.
Right.
Popping all this, oh, my cousin's this, that, the third, I do whoop-de-wop, and then you get knocked upside your head. It's all of a sudden 15 niggas jumped you. No, bro.
You started it.
You started it. You shot the one-on-one and lost. That's it. Just take your L and move on.
That's what I thought he was going to do. And then he came out LeBron. Like, sir, please.
It's crazy. This is the biggest story that, at least that I've known in the NBA so far this season.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like even if you were beefing with someone, like that's between you and them. Like Cam, like let's say like it was between you and I. Whatever issues we're having, I'm not gonna go and tell Tay, hey, Cam may have been doing this. Like that's not my place. Like my issue is with you. We're gonna talk it out like two grown men, and either we're gonna agree or we're gonna disagree, and that's gonna be it.
Right.
Like, I don't know why people always taking to the internet, always taking to social media and stuff. Like, bro, we're too grown for that. Like, if you think that
for
there's
real,
going to
not
be
like us. That's what Drake's not like us.
Yeah,
Every example, the way we try to break it down, explain it, it's like, oh, wait a minute, this nigga's really not like us. He was raised on different principles, right? He's not us. But again, I still think, from personally speaking, we're about to be only 10 days left of January, and to my recollection, that's the biggest story in the NBA right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. I mean,
man, they need to bring basketball back. Excitement.
The trade deadline's coming up, so maybe something crazy will happen.
Man, I gotta know who these dudes are again. Like, I want to be excited about the NBA. I really do, bro. Like, I genuinely do love basketball.
I don't know none of these cats.
I don't know. I can't pronounce their names. I don't know who they are, bro. I'm gonna get back. I know the Knicks. That's about it. Okay. Anything else? It's like we going up against the Space Jam All-Star team or the Monstars or something. I'm like, who are these dudes? I know, the Knicks and LeBron and Anthony Edwards. That's
no Knicks, LeBron and Anthony Edwards.
Hell yeah, you're our NBA
more than
analysis.
That,
you're our NBA analysis on the show. You know what I mean?
An NBA analysis is crazy.
Analyst? Yeah, because see, that's that college degree talking. That's that college degree for you right there.
No, college. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think that either the Cavs or the Thunder are like the best team in the league right now. The Cavs are like 35-6. I think the Thunder's right behind, maybe 35-7 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And the Celtics, I think, are 29-13. And
are they?
They're the reigning champs. So they
who's the favorite to win it this season?
I think the way the records are going right now, I think it's a kind of close between the Cavs and the Thunder.
Okay.
I think everybody thinks that the Celtics can repeat.
They played each other last week, right? The Cavs and the Thunder? Yes, they did. I watched that game.
The Thunder won, I do believe. If I'm not mistaken.
Do y'all think LeBron would ever go back to the Cavs?
If he doesn't retire after this season, I'll be shocked.
I don't think it would be a good move for the sake of the Cavaliers. As crazy as as crazy as that is to say, like it wouldn't be a good move for a team to add LeBron. But
Yeah,
I watched the Cavs. Okay, maybe I do watch the NBA more than I put on.
I was gonna say their chemistry now they're hooping.
Yeah, when Donovan Mitchell went there instead of the Knicks, at first I was scratching my head. I was like, why would this nigga leave to go to Ohio? I thought he was leaving Utah to go to the Knicks, but in hindsight, it made sense. It was like he saw where he could fit that puzzle piece a little bit better.
Right.
And I'm happy with how it worked out for us getting Jalen Brunson. You know what I mean? He been hooping.
He has. Josh Hart too.
Josh Hart that's been our guy for a minute, y'all. Josh Hart has seen a lot of different coaches, different personnel, and he stayed true. Yeah, I seen Josh Hart one time in person, yo. His dog looked just like mine.
Really?
Yeah, he got a Rottweiler too, bro. That dog looked just like mine. Hell yeah. Wait, but I gotta ask you about championship weekend that we had, or the divisional rounds. Because Laird, last week you brought up a really good point of Patrick Mahomes with these damn refs, and it was so painfully obvious watching the game. Like, and I know I'm never the type to blame the Zebras. I didn't want to have a reason, but it got to a point where even you saw them have to like stop calling some of them calls. Like him, the way he waits until when he's run out of bounds, he'll slow down last second just so someone can hit him and he can flop way far out of bounds. That shit is nasty work.
That what was it? The what do they call it? Was it unsportsmanlike conduct or unnecessary roughness? Yeah, it's like he was an eligible runner. He was dancing behind blockers. And by the time he went down, the defenders had already like once you as a defender, once you propel your body forward, that's it. If you slid, I didn't mean to hit you. I didn't, but you slid too late. There's nothing that I can do about that. Like you gotta really, you're asking defenders. Sorry, go ahead.
No, finish what you saying.
Yeah, I was saying at this point now, you're asking defenders to not really defend, but have a conversation with the offensive or with the ball carrier. Like, hey, do you plan to slide or do you plan to run? Because I need to know if I can hit you or not. Like, we don't have time for that. We gotta make moves. We gotta react. We have to do our job.
No, so you're right. And even on that play, they didn't even hit him.
They didn't. They hit each other. They almost sent each other to the ER. Like
literally, they showed the slow-mo. And that's the whole point of because the refs now have the ability when they see the slow-mo, they can take the flag back. And you saw it clear as day. They never even made contact with him. I was even watching. I'm like, nah, if they had made contact, Buddy threw his whole body weight at his head. Patrick Mahomes would have been looking like Tua at that point. Like, you're not just going to hop back up. Like, it didn't happen. Shake it off.
And they threw that flag immediately, too. Like, they didn't even waste any time. It was just...
Bro, it really is nerve-wracking to watch them games and see the way he baits in certain calls. It's almost reminds me of early days LeBron before Miami when he used to flop for real. Like, listen, y'all know I've always been a Bron fan, yo, but I could call a spade a spade. 09 LeBron, 08 LeBron. It was like, you breathe too hard. He was way the fuck back, dropping everything, sliding on the floor and everything, coming out. Oh, shit, my eye, I'm blind. That's why now to this day, when he's getting real foul, it's like, wait a minute, is this a real one now? Did it actually happen? And you got to take a second and go, oh, no, shit, he's bleeding from the eye. He really did get cut. Because people don't realize 15 years ago, yo, LeBron, it would have looked like that same replay. You would have missed him in the slow-mo, but in real time, it looked like you got him, and he would have been crawling around acting like you just smacked him in the face or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's bad.
I do not miss flopping LeBron. I do not miss that.
I don't miss that either.
Sounded crazy.
I'm dead. Do we think that the Bills are going to be able to win in Kansas City?
Not with the
Man, Buffalo.
Any team is going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. It is going to be the Bills.
I mean, you have a point now. I would have argued the Ravens, but after yesterday, we'll get to that in a second.
Yo.
But
Mm,
I don't.
okay.
Yeah, I don't know the
On that.
Bills. I hope the Bills can do it.
Me too.
But now that the opportunity presents itself, I'm really hoping the Redskins can pull it all off and just shock the world with a rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
Like that would be absolutely insane.
Like the Chiefs had said, or not the Chiefs, like the Texans had said, like when they were playing the Chiefs, it was us against everyone.
Yeah.
It was not an easy time for them. It's never an easy time playing against the Chiefs. Yes, they have good players. They do. I'm not going to sit here and say that they don't. They have good players on defense. They have good players on offense. However, when you have the Chiefs against the wall, the refs will be there to bail them out.
Yep.
Every time it's hard. I've noticed that too. It's hard to build a legitimate lead on them because they get bailed out every step of the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's always game-changing plays. It's always like these
That
game
third and
like
long, that
decision
fourth and
calls
short.
that you're watching, you're like, how the hell was that PI? You know, like stupid shit. And it's just like we're all watching it happen too. It's just
Real time. We're seeing the same things that the refs are seeing, maybe not from the same angle, but we're watching just like everyone else. And, to see the Chiefs convert a 3rd and 20 and get, like you said, a pass interference call or something.
yeah.
Just how do they manage to do it? I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah.
And the problem is that people still love the Chiefs. Because mind you, Cam, as you know, if this was the Patriots, it would be a different story. People would be, sending death threats
Pitchforks.
and stuff. Yeah, exactly. They'd be out doing crazy stuff. But because it's the Chiefs and it's Mahomes, or as people say, Kermit,
Because they got
people just
Taylor
love
Swift
them.
there.
They
People that
do.
like Giselle like they like Taylor. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What,
Taylor is worldwide.
which it almost makes me ask if they were to break up suddenly, do the Chiefs suddenly do we get fair called games now?
I don't think so. I think it would
Yeah.
have to be the comeback story. I think they would still have to they would make Travis the point of focus, and they would have him he would probably end up with 10 receptions a game or something.
Which might I say is also nasty work that the NFL, as successful as it's been as just football, has resorted to making itself some type of fucking love story for sake of Travis. And like I hope if they were to break up, it wouldn't turn into that where it's now the new story of the NFL is all about Travis Kelce's road to redemption from a breakup. Like, nigga, you get the
It
fuck
would
over
they
it.
would they would they would play that card. They would 100% play that card because they did it with Tom. They did it with Tom when him and Giselle got divorced. Like they didn't do it as heavy because they were like, well, Tom, he's the GOAT and he's old and people don't care that much. But they did play that card for a little bit. But
Well,
with
it's two things. If I may, I may sound a little
Mhm.
bit biased as a Brady and a Patriots fan, but two things. One, when they were doing the story, it was a newsworthy story because top to
Mhm.
bottom, after 20 years of marriage,
True.
she was also leaking stories saying that a large part of it was her fighting him to retire because of all the concussions and him fighting to stay, and
Mhm.
then him abruptly returning and then going to Tampa Bay and moving a family there. And then while they're
Mhm.
going through the divorce, she's with her trainer going on vacations in South America. It was legitimate newsworthy shit that people would expect to see from someone after a 20-year marriage. You know what I mean? This is like some high school puppy love bullshit, but with 30 something year olds.
Right.
Like it's like, oh my gosh, look at her holding hands with her friend today going to the game, or oh my gosh, she has her name on the back of his jacket. It's like, ain't that what all
And Brittany hugging the
spouses of
same
players do?
Mhm.
years.
It's like, oh my gosh,
Mhm.
she brought such and such celebrity with her to the game, and oh, they're doing their little hip, thing side to side handshake on camera, and it's just it just makes football annoying, or not football. It makes watching the Chiefs annoying and a little bit nauseating.
100%. I think they're just catering to a newfound quote unquote fan base who are literally only watching because they know that Taylor Swift is there. They don't care about football.
I just never understood giving in that much to a finicky fan base. Because I don't listen to Taylor Swift's music at all. I can't name a single song by her. But I can tell you just from seeing her in the press over the years, she's had a long list of celebrity people she's been dating.
Yeah.
Which means when the shit fizzles out, there goes all the fandom. And then all the real fans that were here that you done pissed off in an effort to give in, where you go, hey guys, come back, come watch us. And it's like, hey, shut up. We watch college. Like,
right.
I don't get it. I don't get it. Roger Goodell, I think he knows what he's doing. He's proven he's knowing what he's doing, but I don't agree with this call. I don't think all dollars make sense.
Definitely not.
But who are you guys' pick to go to the Super Bowl now that all of our picks are basically done?
I want the Commanders to make it. I do, but I do think that the Eagles are going to pull it out. So my picks would be Eagles, Bills. I think if any team is going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs, refs aside, it is the Bills. So,
but the refs, they do play a role.
So. They do play a role. So I think that if a fair game is called and played, I think the Bills should be able to pull it out. But with those calls that the Chiefs are handed every time we see them on the screen, I feel like it's almost inevitable at this point that they will make it with the refs. I think with proper play calling with proper calls from refs and a fair game played, I think that the Bills have just dominated. I think that they're gonna pull it out, and then I think the Eagles should have it over the Commanders, although I don't really want to see the Eagles get there. I just think that they are the all-around better team offensively and defensively. But that's
that former Cowboys fan in you talking, that hate for the Eagles.
You know.
Hey, you go ahead. I ain't
my friends are Eagles fans. And I've had the amount of
aren't they so annoying?
Yeah.
Oh, Eagles fan. It's like they make the best quality friends until game time starts. Then it's like, yo, shut up. I wish I never knew you.
Stop speaking.
Oh my God.
Have y'all seen that
I mean, it's about all Eagles fans out there, by the way. Any Eagles fans listening, I'm sure you're a great person. You make a great quality friend. But you are so nauseating to listen to when game time starts.
Terrible.
You are the Cowboys fan you hate. It's just cold in your city. It's just cold and the barbecue sucks. That's the only difference.
Yeah.
What were you about to say, Laird?
Did you guys see the video on social media of that one Eagles fan? It was kind of like a middle-aged to older-aged white man, just like acting out of pocket.
Showing his ass, bro. He was calling her ugly and calling her the C word and all that stuff.
So inappropriate.
And you saw he had to back up and apologize once he lost his job.
And that's the thing, right? If it wasn't for social media, if it wasn't for people chastising you and telling you that you were wrong, you'd be standing on business. Like you would never apologize.
And the fact that nobody that was with him said anything either. They just let him go.
Yeah, they let him go. Like bro, I would have said something.
That was the normal Eagles atmosphere. That's why. It was like, oh, this is literally just what an Eagles game is. This is the same crowd that booed Santa Claus.
Yeah, apparently this gentleman, like you said, he lost his job. He's banned from Eagles games, which I don't even know if they're actually going to be real or not.
No, that's not
holding up pictures like, oh, like this guy, he's not allowed in here.
I feel like the most surprising part of the story to me was that he lost his job and that they said that they were going to ban him, because as someone who's from the area, grew up around these type of fans, it seemed very, very normal to me. If anything, I thought they were the type that was gonna be like, "Yeah, welcome to Philly. Get the fuck out of here, you loser." Like that's the response I was expecting. I was genuinely shocked that this man lost his job.
He was a business analyst with a
Mhm.
specialty in information technology working for a New Jersey-based company.
Yeah,
And
he worked for some firm. And the thing is,
yeah,
it was a super normal middle-aged dude. Like even him releasing the apology, I would have just stayed quiet and let it blow over and just hope people forgot about me. I went back into the oblivion and just used my resume to get another gig. Because now if someone looks you up, the first thing that may pop up is your apology.
That's true.
Before it was
was
just
his
gonna be
apology at
praised
least
Eagles
good
fan.
or was it terrible?
I didn't even.
It should be non-existent. Because before you were
True,
just
should be
praised
non-existent.
Eagles
Yeah,
fan. Now it's name attached because of an apology. You know what I'm saying?
true.
Like with
You're
no
right.
social media, a regular degular plain Jane middle-aged white dude, you really could have just got back into the mix and no one would have known. Shit,
Yeah,
even
I
his
mean, and
company might have forgotten
Yeah,
about it a week later.
to some degree, but I feel like in this age of social media and like quote unquote cancel
it's always going
culture,
to be there.
they
Yeah,
are on it, especially anybody that's offended by what they see online. There are going to be those kind of, I'm not going to call them keyboard warriors because there are some things that are wronged and people's identities maybe should be released so that people can be protected from these individuals. But people who will go out there and quote unquote dox them and figure out who they are, where they live, where they work, and email their employers and say, hey, this is the type of person that you hired, and this is the type of person that you allowed to work for you and pay, and this is how they behave when they're not, at work. This is who they are to the to their core, really, because that's just, it's at the end of the day, it is wrong. I think that it's become normalized in sports to kind of be an asshole
Mm-hmm.
because you're rooting for your team and stuff, but that's no way to treat somebody, especially because if I'm not mistaken, the guy, I think he said it was like their first game or maybe their first playoff game that he wanted to treat his girlfriend to or whatever, and that's how she's treated. Like that's shitty.
fiance.
Deal with that. So
And
I don't know. I
kudos to
feel like
that man.
there's consequences
Well,
to your actions at the end of the day, and it kind of is what it is. And yeah, I think that him going out and apologizing, after the fact, obviously,
Because he got caught.
yeah, you got caught.
yeah,
Which to
it
be
never
clear,
should
I'm
have
not
made it
defending
to
his
that point.
actions.
No, I know.
Yeah, or
Yeah,
justifying it. I feel like if me, you, any of us did that, we would go viral and it'll be a lot easier to find us online because of our presence. I
True.
feel
hmm
like middle-aged people are a lot less active, a little bit harder to find.
yeah. They don't
So
have
that's the
social
only
media and
reason why I
stuff.
was like, hey, bro, for a while when the story was going around, you were just a crazy Eagles fan. You could have
Right.
just shut up and let this been only the people in your neighborhood know who you are. But once you, and that's also the thing with social media. If you don't have no experience with social media, you may not know like, oh wait, I'm making this worse by doing this whole official apology. Like you ain't the fucking mayor. Nobody was sitting there waiting on your apology. Why are you apologizing to us? You ain't say shit to me.
I was gonna say I saw this shit when it first happened, and I forgot about it till now. I didn't even know he came out with an apology, but now I want to look it up and see what he said. So
You be doing that shit.
you're
It's
kind
like,
of
bro,
like
why are you apologizing to us?
redirecting energy and attention back to you after you fucked up. You should have just shut the fuck up and disappeared.
Yeah, I've never been one to like, yeah, people they get drunk, they do dumb things and stuff, you know, to the fans in the immediate vicinity, whether they were Packers or Eagles, you should have stepped in and told that man he should calm down, relax, take a sip of water. Yes, people did record the uh instance, but people should have stepped in and said something, gotten security or whatever it is, because no one should be spoken to um like that at a sporting event at all. Like, I'm
You're
sorry,
right.
sir, you
It's
you look like you fat and out of shape. You probably haven't ever played, anything past like freshman football. So to be coming crazy
right.
and saying the things that you're saying, had this have been someone else, he could have got popped in the mouth and he could have went to sleep and it would have been an entirely different story at that point.
I actually saw that the guy whose girlfriend it was say that the only reason he really didn't retaliate and get physical with him was because he had people with him. who probably like he's like at that point I'm putting both of us in danger if I swing on him.
Mm-hmm.
It's now 3 against 1, and if they put hands on my wife, then what? I can't, or my girlfriend, I can't protect her.
Hey, that's when the crazy gonna
I
come out.
respect it,
So
you know. Yeah,
Well, to play devil's advocate, two things. One, I'm kind of ready for us to end cancel culture, only because I feel like when I see videos like that, especially as someone who's been out at a lot of live events, seen a lot of obnoxious drunk people, those videos where it only cuts in on you just holding the camera up like this and someone talking shit to your back, it's like no one just randomly just starts talking shit. Like, what led up to this? Were you guys being
well,
obnoxious all game when your team was making plays? Did you guys say something slick at some point? And again, not justifying anything that he said or did, but I do just hate the context being left out because I've seen times at sporting events where you do have those obnoxious fans that's talking hot shit, they doing all the things. And then finally, when they lose at the end of the game, everyone who was silent is just letting them have it. And it's like, okay, if they were to flip on the camera at that point, they easily look like a victim. Like, look at little old me and look at all these crazy Texas fans. They just talk shit because it's like, no, 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 no. You was up here, yeah, cheese, bitch, Green Bay, da da da, doing all this, flexing. And now that your team lost, you mad we talking shit, and then you said something else back, and these are Philadelphia men. They're probably better at talking shit than you are. You know, I was watching the video and I was just like, yeah, this sounds like dude was really. It sounded like they had been talking shit back and forth. You know what I mean? So I from that standpoint, not justifying it or trying to explain it to make it right, but I do wish we had the added context because this cancer culture shit and flipping on the camera, and then afterwards your boyfriend goes, "No, see what happened? Well, I would have did something, but it was mad people." And it's bro, who trying to hear all that? At the end of the day, no,
you
no, no.
are
At
right.
the
I
end
do
of the day,
agree with
I've been
that.
there. I've been in those scenarios where it's me and my girl or whoever, and I may feel outnumbered. There's still a way to stand on business without without being a fool about it, without trying to
Mm-hmm.
tough guy your way. Like I'll fuck all y'all up, all y'all put like you ain't gotta do that. But there's a way to
Mm-hmm.
lock in, make eye contact with the motherfucker talking shit, and really tunnel vision. Like yo, you're not gonna do all that, yo. Because most of the time, lid man to man, we know even if our homie is doing something crazy, once the dude that he's picking on calls his ass out, now it's like, hey, y'all got this. What's up? I'm gonna just make sure he don't pull no weapons. But that's really how. So don't come around later on with a half a video of people only responding to the shit you said, and then now see, I would have had done something, but he had his other friends. Man, it looked like a bunch of fucking pharmacists and accountants and shit. They wasn't about to do nothing to you. Stand on business. So that's how I feel when I see the situation. Not defending Philly fans, but as someone who's grown up around them and seen it, they talk shit, they're obnoxious, but it's like if you can't stand the fire, stay the fuck out the kitchen. Maybe Philadelphia's arena ain't where you need to be for your first football game. Start light. Start at like a high school game. Go to Penn State or something. But don't just jump straight in with the niggas that booed Santa Claus. Yeah, you
Yeah,
might get
that's
called ugly with the ops on your jersey. I'm just saying. In playoff environment too, you got the wrong colors on. Like it's so much, but that's just me and my devil advocacy.
yeah. I like there's it depends on how the situation is depicted, right?
Right.
For example, like you said, if someone puts it up with zero context, yeah, trying to implement cancel culture without a true backstory
Right.
and just that little clip, that's not fair.
right.
Um, in this case, just by what I'm reading, I'm specifically talking about this case. The woman, she claims she was like, "Hey, he was taking jabs and stuff earlier, but like it was fun." Just about the Packers and stuff. And then she said, as the lead grew, he then got more personal and taking jabs at me, which I didn't understand what I did. Now, that doesn't mean that she didn't say anything, but she did admit it was just, casual team talking bullshit. And then it grew into something else. So she could have said something, or she could have just said nothing. And he just kept having more beers and started tweaking out.
And that's
We
why I
don't
wish
know.
I had the added context, because that part of the story comes down to he said, she said. And
Yeah,
as much
but
as I
if
don't
she's
want to
being
say
open
she's,
about it, if
and
she's
I'm
being
not
open
doubting
about
she
it,
is. Yeah, and again, I'm not saying she's wrong.
hmm
However, your perception is your reality. How many
Yeah.
times
hmm
have you gotten an argument with a female and everything she said to you, all the name calling went out the window as soon as you called her out of her name once? And now it's, yo, this
yeah, big
narcissist, he's
facts.
crazy, he's disrespectful, he did X, Y, and Z. And it's like,
Ah, the
yo, shorty,
narcissist.
you was subbing me to all day, calling me a bum on Instagram, saying I ain't shit, texting me all this stuff, telling everybody. Now I said, yo, bitch, chill. And it's like,
Mhm.
see, this misogynist, he saw me a bitch. And it's like, yo, that part of the story don't get told. So when all this context is left out and you the only one on your soapbox talking to the media, and all this fool did was talk shit, think that was the end of it, and then release an apology a few days later. I just, again, it's so much left out, and this dude's life got fucked up off of what comes down to he says, she says.
Yeah.
And well, no, to be fair, and also what he said in the video, because he did call her
Yeah,
the C word. That
yeah,
probably iced him
he
right
was
there.
tripping. Regardless of
He
what
was
happened, he
tripping.
was tripping.
I was
My
Um,
not
thing
I
is,
was
like,
not deny that.
I
Bro
don't
was
think anybody
tripping.
can say anything to me to the point, especially a stranger, that gets me so out of pocket that I just start absolutely berating you. Like, I'm gonna laugh at you and be like, "Oh, you're mad." Like, the fuck? And I'm gonna just keep it pushing. Like, I watch my team win.
you
Like,
are a
this is
lucky person. You have a great sense of demeanor, because there are people
Well,
out
no
there
shot.
who don't carry that like you do, and things won't work
I
out
just
well.
I think the most troubling part of the video for me was watching this man say that to her,
hmm
and then her boyfriend not do anything. Like, she's holding the camera up and he looks over and then he's just looking in the selfie video with you. It's like, it's almost like you're asking the internet to do for you what your boyfriend wouldn't.
Which, I mean, I understand if you think that you're outnumbered,
It,
because you don't know. You see sleeper videos all the time. Like, you and I are having a conversation, and I'm like, yeah, say something like you were talking all this good shit a minute ago, and then here comes Tay, and she put me to sleep, and now I'm out here looking like a lifeless doll. you know.
which is why I was careful. And again, I never advocate being a tough guy if that's not who you are.
hmm
Well, do you really never need to be a tough guy? But especially don't switch up if that's not who you are. But there is a way to stand on business and let them know I'm not the one, without also start like there. Like I said earlier, there is a way to lock in, make eye contact with the motherfucker talking all the shit, because it seems like this all came down on one person. So there
hmm
is a way to be like, oh, whoa, whoa, hey, we can talk shit, we can have fun, but don't do all that, yo. You doing a lot. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there is a way to do that. And respectable people will see that and either be like, oh, I'm glad he said something. Yeah, man, let's not do all that. Or just be like, hey, shit, this is between y'all now, because I wasn't with that. And if he wants to call out and see, y'all can duke this out and do the one-on-ones. But I feel like to say nothing at all and then you upload a video, in a way, I kind of felt like, again, I'm watching this video like, what do you want me to do that your boyfriend didn't do from the comment section?
That's fair. So I'm gonna play devil's advocate because I feel like, yes, there is no context, right? So
Wait, there's two devils? You the angel. You the angel. Go ahead. No.
please, I feel like, obviously,
Mhm.
I feel like not all, but I feel like a decent amount of people start recording when it gets to a point where they genuinely feel threatened. And they're like, okay,
Mhm.
I need to document this because I feel like I'm in genuine danger. So we don't know
Mhm.
what happened before he pressed record. He could have been threatening to beat his ass and he was trying to calm him down. And he wants to be that person that's like, yo, chill, but he doesn't know if he's, let's say he starts beating the motherfucker up, the middle-aged man starts wailing on him or whatever, and then he gets him start beating his ass. Now he has two other people jumping in, because now he knows that he has to try to protect everybody. But and especially, like, you don't know this person. You don't know what you could say, do, look, any type of look that could set them off. This man is clearly not right in the head to just be going off at a woman who's literally standing there like, why are you yelling at me, bro? Like, so it's just like he's already to some degree unhinged for going as hard as he did. Now I'm like, yes, I feel like there's a way to de-escalate, but I don't know if if he felt in that moment that there was a way to be
Mhm.
like, yeah, I'm not the one, because if you come with some type of aggression towards someone who's already being overly aggressive, that could also end badly. That's just what I'm saying.
Mhm.
He could have already been threatening them, like, I'm gonna beat her ass, I'm gonna beat your ass, blah, 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 blah. And again, yeah, I would want my man to step up and not let nobody talk to me like that. But at the end of the day, it's like, you also have to know the type of person that you're, one, going against, two, who they're with. If they're all drunk, they're drunk old white men that are probably at this point ready to retire and don't have much. He probably didn't have that many years at that firm anyway. So like, I don't know how old he was for real, but it's like at that point, you don't give a fuck. Wow.
They said he was 44 or something.
So I'm watching the video now. I'm watching the playback, and as you're watching it, you do see they are surrounded by Eagles fans.
Yeah, no,
you do
they were
see that hand tapping them to stop. The other Eagles fans surrounded by him also telling him like, yo, chill. So again, I think if you were to stand up for your girlfriend, you did have support. And to your point, like you said, if you did genuinely feel you were in danger, and this is something that I mean from the bottom of my heart, and I think everybody listening should take this advice. If you ever feel you are in genuine danger, especially in an event in a cold environment where ain't nobody in here got guns, don't sit there and whip out your phone to record. Go get security. If you genuinely feel you are in danger, go get security. Because whipping out your phone to record, I've been to enough game to know you're not live. There's no phone service for that. So just having a recording, you getting your ass beat, is not really going to do too much to prevent the ass whooping. If you genuinely feel the only thing I can do is just watch my girl get berated because I'm outnumbered like that, I really feel our safety is in jeopardy. You have every right as a fan to go to security and be like, yo, look what's happening. Yo, look what's going on right now. Like X, Y, Z. And again, you see in the video, the other Eagles fans are telling him, hey, bro, chill. What are you doing? What are you on? Like, so that's all I'm saying.
You're not wrong.
It's okay to solve problems in real life.
Like, if he's not that person that wants to get aggressive and really stand on business or whatever, yeah, he probably should have gone. But he wanted to have some type of documentation proof. Because if you go get security now, they come back and they're just like, okay, like, we see this all the time. This is just a nigga just talking shit. And at that point, he's probably just gonna shut the fuck up. So to some degree, I like I said, I'm kind of playing devil's advocate. I understand not wanting to say, however, he probably should have said something. I didn't know that the Eagles fans were around them tapping him like, yo, chill. So he did have a little bit more support than he probably thought, though, as well. At the end of the day, all he knows he's surrounded by, or his girl's being berated by a drunk dude who also has friends with him. So
which
and you are go ahead.
Switched position, so that way
thank you.
That so that's
yeah, I know. I
also here.
I did see.
That's what I was gonna say. Now that we went back, we gave our takes. I went back and saw it, and it's like, A, you could have switched positions. B, it wasn't her recording; it was him recording. So it's like, it's like, yo, bro, why don't you put the fucking phone down and stand up for your girlfriend, or get in between them, because the guy was standing behind her to the right. So it's like, why don't you, excuse me, babe, move. Yo, what's up, bro? Chill with all that. It's that simple.
Right.
And again, I am not here to justify the crazy Eagles fan. I still think they are the most nauseating fans. Great friends, great people, love Philly, beautiful city, but I'm not here to justify this nigga. I'm just top to bottom covering the story how I see it. My man, do not ever again. Like, I'd be so pissed if my little sister, I found out, she came home, was like, oh yeah, the Eagles fans are doing da 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 da. And I look at the video, I'm like, okay, yeah, they were yelling aggressive. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on, who was recording your date? You better be telling us you lesbian, because what the fuck you mean your date was recording you getting berated by men and didn't step in? That is crazy as hell.
No, I get it.
Man, like I said, and you better, maybe you don't need to be at no more NFL games, especially not no Eagles game, if you're not ready to stand on business. That's just how
I'll never catch me at an Eagles game in no other team and no other color. I'm gonna just wear neutral colors and act like I don't know shit about shit.
And that's it. I've been in those environments with the craziest fan. I feel like overall, you just going through every day, in life, you kind of can eye a person up and down and know who's the one that you can get some shit off with, who's not the one. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm just not the one. But I've never had that type of issue. And I'm telling, I've been.
But that's
in
you.
Bama, I've been in Bama Stadium with the wrong colors on. I've been to MetLife with the wrong colors on. I've been a lot of different places. I've been back home in the Bronx at the Yankee Stadium wearing a Mets jersey, the Carlos Beltran jersey back in 09. Like I've been in some crazy environments, yo. And I can't see me not saying nothing to defend myself in real time. Like I can't picture, for an example, Laird right here just talking hot shit right in front of me and then talking shit to my date. And I'm just going, man, fuck this guy. Stand here like this though. Oh yeah, wait until Twitter sees this, buddy. Get the fuck out of here.
I got full bars. Canceled, sir.
That is the worst defense strategy I've ever seen.
So to your point, maybe the old man knew that old boy wasn't gonna do shit. He was like,
he was like, yo, you ain't about it,
shit, so I'm gonna talk my shit.
I've been popping my shit since the second quarter. He ain't
right
over here nothing, bro. We went through halftime. Y'all still ain't swapped seats after the halftime break. Yo, buddy ain't standing on shit. Yeah, and which, hey, I've been in that scenario too, where guys maybe for whatever reason, whether they want your girl, whether your girl says something to piss them off, not justified, but I've seen that too, where guys for whatever reason they're going back and forth with a girl, and once they can sense the bitch in you, that you ain't gonna do nothing to defend your girl, it's like the shit talking gets way worse because it's like they're daring you to do something.
Yeah,
it's like I'm not calling her a cunt, I'm calling you a cunt, or I'm just yelling to see if you're gonna do something. Which I think that would have been another video. That would have been a different type of video at the stadium.
I think actually with the Lions too, there was some dude got stomped out of the Lions game with the Chiefs.
I thought it was Command.
I just said the wrong thing, but yes, continue.
Yeah. Honestly though, a Lions fan getting stomped out, ever since I seen Malice in the Palace, nothing like that surprises me when it comes to Detroit fans. You just know,
Wait, you said a Lions fan got stomped out or did the stomping?
Probably did the stomping.
I don't believe it. Just kidding. I thought you meant like I remember a few months back there was I don't know if it was I want to say it was either the Ravens or the Commanders. Somebody was talking cash shit after the game and then they got jumped. And I was like, ooh.
Okay, see, and that's also a great self-defense strategy since we're on the topic. Don't be talking shit.
Yeah.
I just don't. I personally will never get jumped out of game. Don't talk shit to a group. Like that is the perfect combination to getting jumped.
For real. I have to
Don't
agree.
talk shit. It's simple as that. Could never be me. I think that's one of my worst fears. Like one of my deepest fears is getting jumped.
I've never been in a fight.
It's just losing. It's one thing. I've never lost a fight, knock on wood, but I think losing a fight is like if you lost a good fight and it's like, all right, well, I ain't got my ass whooped. We just, he got me. That's one thing. But to be where you can't even really defend yourself, you getting hit from all angles, pause. Nah, fuck that. Fuck that, yo. Oh yeah, I see the video you talking about now. Lions fan
just
stomp on man's head after he disrespected a woman. See, if you stood up for your girl at the Eagles fan, you might have had a gang of birds stomping on that dude. But they was like, again, like us on the internet, I ain't finna do for your girl what you ain't finna do.
Yeah.
So shit, if you just want to record, then I'm gonna just sit there and watch. But if you, because again, why the dude that was putting his arm on her was like, hey, back up, chill. He's effectively doing more than you are with your camera recording.
Yeah.
So I'm already doing more, bro. This is all you're getting until you grow up here and say something. I'm not doing much more than, hey, I ain't doing much more than that.
Right.
But that's just me. I don't think the Eagles are going to suffer any karma as a result of this, as we've seen. They beat the Rams. Do we think if the weather was clear, do you think the Rams could have won?
100%. Well, actually no, because then I think that Jalen's pass game improves, and AJ Brown, Goddard. I mean, Goddard had a pretty good game, but like you get to involve a bit more people. I think they had to rely heavily on the run, obviously with those conditions, but we've also seen Jalen be very successful with the pass game. So, but then you also have on the flip side the Rams. You have the likes of Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua. Higbee
And you
had a
got to
great
think
game.
of all their turnovers that were really just as a result of the weather.
Yeah.
Like they were down by 1 after that safety, marching upfield, and then like the second play, Williams fumbled it. In a regular stadium, he doesn't fumble. They take the lead.
True.
Yeah, he had 2 fumbles. It was another one from someone else earlier in the game, one of their tight ends. So it's just like, had the weather not been a thing, I am a Jalen Hurts fan. I don't think his arm is going to carry somebody into a Super Bowl victory. There was no weather inclement last week when AJ Brown was on the sideline reading Harry Potter novels. That's, you know what I mean? Like the weather couldn't be blamed then.
You're not wrong.
They've been butting heads all year about the same thing, the passing. I've had Devontae Smith on my team in fantasy, so I've seen the trends of passing. Jalen Hurts, good quarterback, but he's not about to just tear your defense apart and just pick apart you guys to get you a Super Bowl win.
So I don't think that it's that he can't. I just don't think that he's needed to.
I don't say he can't. He just doesn't. I haven't seen him do it.
Yeah,
I'm not saying
that's what I'm saying. Like, why fix
what
isn't broken? I mean, they're very run heavy, but that's because they have Saquon. They don't need to throw. They genuinely do not need to throw the ball with Saquon. Obviously, they're gonna face somebody who can. I think if the Lions were healthy,
need to open up the pass game. The run game is good to rely on, but you still need to open up that pass game because Saquon's still human. There is fatigue, and you can't load up a box.
All I'm saying is that like Jalen hasn't had to rely on using his arm. I think he's capable, but like he has not needed to really start swinging that bitch, like just tossing it. I think he can when he really, really needs to. But I mean, obviously the conditions, was it yesterday? He wasn't going to be able to be as efficient with the pass game. But I think in clear weather, he can be more efficient with the pass game, especially against the Commanders. That secondary is not all it's cracked up to be. So I think hopefully they can have some decent weather for that game, and we'll see kind of what comes of it. But
it's the Chiefs that worried me. Like I think the Commanders, you can put the bodies in place, you can load up the box and force them to throw to try to make it do what it needs to do. But I think it's the Chiefs ultimately who really is what I'm thinking of the most, because if you beat the Commanders as you should, your favorite to, it's going to be a rematch against the Chiefs.
Right.
You got to go in there playing differently than you did the last Super Bowl. You can't play like you played the last Super Bowl and expect to win this time, right?
100%.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to have to change up a little. He's going to have to do some things differently. You know what I mean? I will say, I don't know. The Chiefs, they're the team that no one wants to be good, but they're very, very fucking good. And I just don't see how they lose other than the Bills. Like my pick is going to be an AFC team to win the Super Bowl this year. I don't care who they play against. The Eagles not beating the Ravens, Bills, or the Chiefs. The Ravens is out the question. So now it's the Bills and the Chiefs. The Eagles are not beating them. I like the Eagles, but they're not. That Bills line can actually hang with Jalen Carter, Fletcher Cox, those type of guys on the Eagles. You know what I mean? To buy Josh Allen more time. And then even if the play breaks down, the one thing that Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes can do very well that Matthew Stafford couldn't do, or Jordan Love couldn't do that well, is they will take the fuck off. And Josh Allen, he ain't a run out of bounds and flop. He gonna put his shoulder down.
No,
and run your ass
he'll
over.
definitely lay you out.
He's gonna run your ass clearly over.
I was gonna say, I think the Bills are gonna make it their mission to beat the Chiefs, and I hope that they do. I mean, obviously, it is literally their mission, but like, I don't think that they are going to take their foot off their necks.
That's been their mission since 2019. It's about execution at this point.
Right.
Fuck
I think they have weapons to do it this year. I do.
They do, because if not, y'all better watch out. Cincinnati. They next year. We're not gonna have the same Cincinnati we had this season next season. Joe Burrow almost had like a single season passing record, if not the record. Like, make no mistake, if they won the playoffs, he would be the favorite for MVP right now. His numbers are not way, but his numbers are better than Lamar and Josh Allen, but his team just doesn't reflect that. And even with all their losses, every game they lost this year was a close game. So it came down to the last few plays. I just think this is that year. If Josh Allen wants to win a ring, I said the same thing with Lamar. This is the year to do it. This is the year. If you want to knock off Kansas City, do it after 3 back-to-back Super Bowl appearances. The niggas is tired. They're dealing with injuries all over. This is the year to do it if you're going to beat them. But if not, Mahomes about to get his 4th ring, man. Because nobody in the NFC. Hey, I know I've been trashing on Eagles fan this whole pod. I'm sorry, y'all. But y'all not beating nobody in the AFC, bro. Yo, football just play a little differently over there, y'all. The AFC is like the SEC of the NFL. Actually, no, I'm going to not say that until next year, because the SEC shit didn't really age well for this season, as we see. We didn't talk about Drea bringing her 22-year-old son to the Rockets game to watch her 22-year-old boyfriend.
Isn't that the same son she left for like a week with like Pizza Hut and like some cash while she went to party in Miami or some shit? Or
she
like,
did that?
I'm pretty sure.
Does that surprise you, given the news? If you had to bet on what type of celebrity mom would do that, are you shocked like Drea?
No, not at all. Not at all.
So Drea Michelle has a 22-year-old son, correct?
Yes.
And she's currently dating Green, who is also 22 years old.
That's gross. Gross.
Nasty work to the fullest extent. I don't even know how I would reply to that as like the son in this scenario.
Like my she's dating a famous basketball player, but she's also dating someone who's the same age as you.
That's what I'm saying. Like, to find that out, and then she doubles down by like, "Hey, you want to go to the game with me tonight?"
This is also the same woman who sat on a podcast and said your honus can get deleted. So I do not think that he expects much out of his mother.
What?
I think he knows exactly who his mother is, and he's just reaping the benefits of her honus.
Your honus
That
can get
apparently
deleted. There are people that really believe that.
You really can't. No, it can't. That's like that porn star who had sex with 1,000 men in what, I think it was 24 hours?
Wait, hold on. This is a good topic. Y'all don't think your honus can be deleted?
I think that it cannot. No.
I don't think it'd be deleted. I think it'd be archived.
I think there's levels to honus. Obviously, that woman that slept with 100 men in a day and documented it or I don't know if she documented, but she let the world know that it was happening. Like, you've now actively put that out into the world. If you are putting your honus out into the world, it cannot get deleted. No.
And that's the deciding factor. If you're a public figure, I don't think your honus can be deleted. I
think people can grow and
Superhead will never be able to just live her life as Corinne Steffens. No, you're Superhead. But old girl round the way who may have went to high school with us and gave the best top to everybody on the football team, and everybody in the school knows, she just got to move to a different zip code somewhere,
exactly,
or a different region of the country, and voila, your honus, it didn't disappear, it just got archived. All it takes is someone else to expose it, but it's like, if you stay low key, nobody knows.
Like Mia Khalifa, didn't she start trying to do like stuff with sports, and everybody was like, "Bitch, shut up, get back in bed." Like,
yeah, shut up.
Nobody
She said, "Get back in bed."
Like,
oh my lord!
But I'm saying,
though, about Joy Taylor.
You put it out there, for the world. Like that's what you actively chose to do as a career path. And yes, you went through some horrid shit and you exposed the truth. And like that's very shitty. You know, we're not negating that by any means. But now you're trying to switch
Right.
gears. You expect people to have the same level of respect for you. And I do believe that sex workers deserve respect, but to some degree, you have to understand that like it's going to be hard for you to switch gears. Not everybody's going to be receptive to that, and that's just the reality of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I think you can switch gears. I think what the problem why they specifically have problems switching gears is, let me put it this way. When you see athletes go from performing their craft to then becoming analysts, anchors, whatever, their claim to fame is what they proudly stand on in order to curate an audience and bring over their
Correct.
previous audience. Same
Right.
thing
Mhm.
with artists, actors, whatever, when they create a podcast, a YouTube.
Mhm.
If I feel like if they were to go, hey y'all, remember me? It's Mia Khalifa. Hey y'all, it's Lana Rose, da da da, and then bring over their audience, that's one thing. They don't though.
Mhm.
Instead, the same people that got them famous, the same people who are willing to work with them, they do everything they can to shame them and shit on them and make them sound like
Mhm.
predators. And then the fans
Mhm.
that they have, they're just a bunch of nasty guys. The fans, the people who were dropping them thousands of dollars in your OnlyFans, you shit on them and make
Mhm.
them look like pedophiles. So then now, well, they're gonna abandon you because you just got done shitting on them. And then you
Mhm.
also just confirm to the world, yeah, I am that girl that was getting spit roasted and having 10 dudes run through me in a video. So now no one's gonna work with you because it's like you're like toxic. I can't get no sponsors fucking with you. And I think that's where they
Mhm.
fuck up. If they come in, like what's the dude in Hollywood that was known, the fat dude with the mustache, and he always was famous in Hollywood for years.
Harvey Weinstein.
No, it
What
was the
what did he
one white
do?
dude. He was a porn star like back in the 70s.
Oh,
Oh,
Ron
like famous.
Jeremy.
Ron Jeremy, thank
I
you.
didn't.
Yeah, he
Ron
said Hollywood,
Jeremy.
and I was like, "Where are we going with Hollywood?" And I was like,
But
No,
that's
no,
what
no,
threw me
because
off. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
think about Ron Jeremy. His claim
Mhm.
to fame is what he did, but years later, he still is. But he's been in movies, he's been in whatever, because he never shied away from what he is. He just said, "This is what I did, but I also can do other things." Y'all come
Mhm.
back and then just try to make like everything you did was just you were the victim and feel bad, da da da. I didn't do this, but now y'all should also support me in my new venture. It's like, well, bitch, bored of football. You're gonna say that all the football players were the problem and everyone treated you unfair. You know what I mean? I think that's where the porn stars fuck up trying to make a different career. Like you can definitely show you have multiple talents. Cam and Mace are doing better than the first take, and they're rappers. But they
Mhm.
don't come up there talking about, oh, hip hop's terrible for the black community. And, I was pressured into it. And I really, looking back, I regret hip hop, but I'm here to talk football now. Niggas be like, you get the fuck on out of here, bro.
I was gonna say,
Mhm.
I also feel like people might not want to work with someone the likes of Mia Khalifa because they don't want to end up in a Joy Taylor situation where now you're
Bingo.
now you're you might have these accusations come against you, and it's like, I feel like it's gonna be hard to kind of not fight that, but it's like a
It
lot
is.
of people I know. Obviously, you say Mia Khalifa, damn near every man in America knows who that is. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sure there are plenty of people that want to experience what she used to do. So it's like, I feel like it would be kind of like I'm not a shut case like easy, but I feel like you don't even want to have that be a possibility.
Not at all. Not at all. Yeah, not to that extent. And even then, you're also an HR headache. Because make no mistakes, all these porn videos, the ones that are still posted with copyrights on websites and stuff, the only reason they're there is because the artist involved signed the consent form.
Right.
So if you sign a legal document consenting and then spin the block later because you got buyer's remorse talking about, oh, I didn't consent, I didn't want to do this, you're an HR headache. I would never hire you because you're too fucking finicky. I don't know what you're gonna say yes to and then cry about tomorrow when it doesn't convene you anymore. So that's why they're in those very unique situations where they're kind of pigeonholed by the thing that they, I guess, brought them their most shame. Hey, that's on them. I mean, hey, Ocho Cinco was a porn star in his former life, he says, and he bounced back.
He's
So,
also a man.
I don't think that really has anything. Sarah J, Lisa Ann, they didn't do the whole victim things, and what do? They turn around and now they're in control. They own their own production company.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But it's still within the same field.
True, but one of them also does.
That's an easier transition.
Yes, it is. That's why I was saying that they should do that, like the other artists. That's what I was saying for the jump.
Oh no, 100%.
Shit on what got you here. Use it to now leverage it in, because now when Lisa Ann and Sarah J are getting these interviews with major athletes and they're doing sponsorships with, was it Prize Picks or FanDuel or something like that? It's like, because they didn't shy away from why we know them and like them.
Fair.
You know what I mean?
I feel like if a man who was a known porn star wanted to switch gears and do something else, it would be a lot easier for them.
And I would ask, is that man spending all of his promo time for his podcast going on other shows talking about how he was a victim the entire time that he was getting famous and crying about why he's famous? Because then that's also like that context has to be added into what can slow down your projection into doing a new show. Because if I'm sitting there listening to that, then I'm like, do I want to listen to this nigga's podcast? He's just crying all the time. Is he just have a show of crying? I want to hear this shit. But if he gets on, he's like, hey, y'all, I know y'all probably know me from sleeping with your favorite porn stars, but I actually know my shit too. And then just jump right into it. Guess what?
You're going to appeal to the public.
Boom, you shitting gold, bro. You're shitting gold. That's just how it goes. Game's game.
So you're saying if a woman did that as well?
I'm saying women have done that and it's worked in real time.
And I'm saying completely switched gears to something unrelated to any relevant piece of form of
going from sex work and then pivoting completely away from it.
Yeah, I'm genuinely asking because I don't know.
Yeah, genuinely speaking, I don't know any man or woman that's completely left that life behind. And just across the board in entertainment business, I don't know anyone who's completely abandoned what got them there, just because you can always rely on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
Unless you're like a retired athlete or something, it's like, okay, clearly we're not expecting you to go back out there. You know.
Right.
But other than that, just across the board in entertainment, I feel like anybody I've known who made that transition, for the most part, never truly abandoned. The only one I can think of that never really went back is Mark Wahlberg. I never seen Marky Mark again. He found his niche acting, and that's been what it is. But even Will Smith dropped some songs. Yeah, even Will Smith dropped some songs recently. But Mark Wahlberg is probably the only person I can think that made a smooth transition and never looked back. But yeah. Any other topics? Anything else we got to get off before we end? We do have a game starting in 10 minutes, so we got to make our picks. So we got Ohio State. We got Notre Dame tonight. I got Ohio State. I just want to say I lost to the winner.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to see either of them win, but since I have to pick one, just based on what I had said previously, I'm going to go with Ohio State. If they win, I was right. If they don't, oh well.
Oh well, yeah. No, that's facts. That's facts. All right. Well, we'll wrap it up here. Thank y'all for joining me again. This was fun.
Thank you for having us.
Anybody listening, make sure y'all tune in. Of course.